In a world where big box stores force the corner store out of business, and the only new movies are remakes of sequels, something began stirring under the dull roar of reality shows and kitten videos. A primal call to know your neighbor, to support the local band, and to laugh at inside jokes about your hometown emerged. Get ready to watch local people with real talent on your local outlet. This is Metro Late Night. We're bringing local back.
Y'all like stereotypes? Good. I like to start my set with a couple easy stereotypical jokes, but I do something a little different. I figure it's okay to tell easy jokes if I do something complex at the same time. So, we black folks like chicken, don't they? Back in my day, we didn't have timeout. We had knocked out, you guys. That's right. Everybody gotta beat them kids. When I say beat yo, you say kids. Beat yo, beat yo. Oh, skeet, skeet. Now that we got that out the way, 35 years old, I have a day job, I'm an attorney, that's what I do for a living. First ones to cheer for that ever. Been having a lot of sleeping problems. I do this several times a week, and then I'm working all these hours. My wife is a very thoughtful woman. She went out and bought me an ambient noise machine. Guys know what those are, right? You plug them up, have all these different settings, the sounds help you relax. Like it has the waterfall setting, so you can dream about like peeing on yourself, you know? Right. So I had this thing for a couple weeks, and it's worked very well, but one thing I noticed about it that was kind of weird is it has this thing called the white noise setting. And when you hit the white noise setting, it just keeps repeating, all lives matter. That's right, white noise.
Where do you see comedy going from here for you? Where do you go? You're out, you're on the road, you're doing shows, you're traveling all around, your name's out there. I mean, where does it go from here? You're doing albums, you're doing specials, you're doing headlining sets. What's going on?
My main goal is to make enough money where I can live next to the good Walgreens. You know what I mean? Like the good, it's always two Walgreens. It's like the bad Walgreens and the good Walgreens. Like I want to live next to the good Walgreens because they have an actual pharmacist. You know what I mean? And pharmacists, they play opera music when you call your prescriptions in.
My dad likes to give me career advice. Recently he told me that I should get a stage name. We were driving in the car, and after about 20 minutes of silence, apropos of nothing, he said to me, you know, I don't think you should use your real name on stage. I said, absolutely, let's talk about this. He said, I think you should use your middle name and your grandmother's maiden name. I said, yeah, Dad? David Wild? It's a good name if I want to be a porn star. Does that sound good to you, Dad? Also, I like my name. I think Sean's a good name. I spell it S-E-A-N. You all okay? Kind of a ridiculous reaction to how someone spells their name. So S-E-A-N, I'm sorry, but that's how I spell it. It wasn't my choice. Very easy name to pronounce, but when people see it written down, they have absolutely no idea what they're looking at. I experience this a lot because I wear a name tag at work because you know I'm super successful. People will come up to me if they need help. They'll say, they'll look at my name tag and they'll say, excuse me, scene? And I'll be like, no, that's not it. Why don't you take another swing at the alphabet? Because that's not how this sequence of letters works. Another customer's come up to me before and said, pardon me, Shane? I was like, let's talk over here. Out of earshot, let's talk about your process. It's flawed. You have a very flawed process. I don't know if hooked on phonics is still a thing. Maybe you can find one at a garage sale. It works for me, maybe it'll work for you. Finally, another customer came up to me. This joke's not over. Said, excuse me, Sean? I said, sí, mi nombre es Sean. Bienvenido a mi mercado de videojuegos. Thank you. Thank you very much. A smattering of applause for my Spanish minor. Theater major, Spanish minor. I use it for two things, that joke and when I order tacos.
I just got engaged myself. Yes, I just got engaged. I am so glad to be off the market because I hated dating. Like, I really hated dating. Because I was into older men. Like, old as hell. Like, sir. If you didn't have something going on and I didn't have something going on, I would have a crush on you. No, seriously, I like dating older men. The reason why I like dating them is it's easy to cook for them. You know what I'm saying? All you need is a little bit of applesauce. And a little bit of medication. He said a little bit. And every once in a while, I like to add a tablespoon of antifreeze in there just for the taste. I make money moves. That's what I do. For real, I like older men because y'all got stuff that younger men don't have. Like a headboard.
What's your deal? How did you start stand-up comedy? How long you been doing it?
It's fun. It's the funniest thing I ever got paid to do. I mean, I ain't never got paid to have sex, I'm sure. That's probably funner, but...
I have. But I am Christian, so we'll cut that later.
You're the same type of Christian I am.
A bad one.
I was very honored this evening when they asked me to headline, so thank you for being here. Start by just addressing the elephant in the room. I'm sure you're all thinking it. Figure let's just talk about it, let's just get it out of the way, we'll move on, all right? And it's so funny because when you see a black guy with an afro, it's like, wow, that guy's probably pretty cool. When you see a white guy with an afro, it's like, wow, that guy's probably, no, that guy's definitely Jewish. He's definitely a Jew. I'll always ask people their opinion of my hair, and I unfortunately get the same reply every single time. People just look at me, they go, I mean, it works for the whole comedy thing. If this ball of joy works for the whole comedy thing, like, what doesn't it work for, right? Sex. They're talking about having sex. I was doing that once though. I was having me some sex. And, in the middle of doing the sex, this girl says something that really throws me off. In the middle of doing it, this girl shouts out, she goes, "Deeper!" I'm sorry, but do you not think that if I had the capabilities to go deeper, that I would not already be deeper right now? I'm not like holding out on you here, Susan. Deeper. What was that? Was that deeper? Thought you'd never ask. Let me just grow these 5 inches I've been hiding in my stomach and just proceed to go deeper. Doesn't work like that. The only time you should tell someone to go deeper is if you're holding a football. Because then it makes sense.
Oh man, all right, I am Kyle Forsythe. I just got a new job, which is pretty awesome. I work for a beer company and I get to try all the new beers. My job title is delivery driver. Pretty sweet gig. They don't know them, don't tell them. It's a pretty easy job to get when you already look like you work for a beer company. I get it. I have like a face of a Cabbage Patch doll and the beard of the Unabomber. It's sort of my overall look, and I get that. I'm okay with it. I have a baby face. That's what I have, and I know that because a woman told me the other day. She came up to me and she goes, "Hey, you have a baby face and pretty blue eyes. I bet you'd make beautiful children." I was like, "I bet you'd make a great single mother. We should work something out." I think we can help each other out here. I should have made that joke because I have a girlfriend, and she's fantastic. We met on Tinder, so it's totally going to work out. When we met, I asked her where she wanted to go on our first date, and she told me she wanted to go hiking. I was like, that'd be fun. That'd be cool. That'd be like a really great way for me to murder you. Why would you ever do that? So my girlfriend's dead now. She's very much alive. She doesn't like that joke either. She's fantastic. I love her. I love her to death. That's why she's dead. She's alive. No, she's alive. I love her, and I do things for her because I love her, which I think everybody in a relationship does. Like, we went to a tarot card reader the other day. And if you guys have never been to a tarot card reader, it's just a white lady that used to be goth in high school wearing a turban. That's generally it. I don't... So if you don't know how it works, you and your significant other go there, you pay this lady $20, and she starts a fight for you.
Okay, 3, 2, you never say the one. Okay, we're here with Mr. Kyle Forsyth, who's a comedian. He's got a ball cap, a little summer polo shirt that he stole from the TJ Maxx, probably the TJ Maxx.
Polo store, yeah, TJ Maxx, close enough. I got it on sale.
I like his honesty that he doesn't buy things with his own money. He takes what he wants, just like on stage. Isn't that right, Kyle?
Yeah, I go up there and I take it, you know. I don't ask for it. I don't ask for forgiveness. I walk into stores. I let the tag go off while I'm walking out because I like to let them know. I'm like, I took it, know it.
This is such like your comedy out there. One time I was at a show, there's an old lady sitting in the front row. Kyle kicked her in the face. He kicked her right in the face. Do you remember that show?
Yeah, she had it coming.
So, I'm from up north and grew up on a farm. I am the voice in your head. Oh, it's fun growing up on a farm. It was really interesting. I did strange things as a child. I don't feel like everybody does. On our farm, we had pigs, cows, and chickens. All my pets that I had were super delicious. Mom, is this Betsy? Wow, she's good. Should have said goodbye. Gosh, everybody freaks out now. They go through a parking lot and they see a dog in a car, locked in, windows up. They're like, call the police. I'm like, slow roasted, my favorite. I'm just kidding. Come on. I don't eat dog. But if there was a pig in there, yum. Set the timer, right? I feel like this guy in the overalls is my biggest fan. I didn't know they think we planned this. You know that, right? Yeah. We had a lot of property. My dad and my mom had a big farm. And then when I was in high school, there was this crazy, huge epidemic of glaucoma that went through my whole class. And I helped everybody grow their medicine. It was amazing. Yes, a young business owner, and I'm practically a doctor, pretty much. And then I found out I too had glaucoma. I was like, oh my gosh! Thank goodness for early diagnosis, right? See, no glasses. I can help some of you.
So
So we're back now. Comedian Blaine Hill is here, and he's about to go up. Tell us a little bit about your process getting ready to go up for a show and about to crush it in front of 100 strangers.
I just like to get the blood pumping, you know, do a couple jumping jacks, push-ups, maybe punch a wall, listen to some death metal, you know, just fun, lighthearted stuff before the show.
This is like typical violent, like white guy stuff.
Yeah, exactly, right? You know, just comedy. We've all seen comedy before. That's how it works.
Thank you guys so much. Tell you guys a little bit about myself. I recently turned 31 years old. Yeah, thank you. So this is about the time of my life where I have to come to terms with the fact that I am never going to look like a full-grown adult man. It's just not in the cards for me, you know? Just forever gonna look like a little boy. Mama dressed him for his big show. He's really just trying his heart out up here for you people. I'm happy to be here. This is already the longest I've been away from my phone all day, so thank you guys for that. I appreciate that. I'm on Facebook way too much. There's a lot of people on Facebook that annoy me. One of the people that annoys me on Facebook is the person who constantly posts like inspirational quotes or messages on their Facebook. I especially don't get it because I see it posted a lot by really hot women in their 20s. All their pictures are just them having the time of their life on some dude's boat. It's like, oh, so you mean to tell me all I need to do is get rid of all of the negative people in my life and follow my dreams, and then I, too, can blow a dude who has a boat? I wish I would have known this years ago. I love boats. Why didn't anybody tell me about this? There's one inspirational message I see a lot on Facebook that I don't really understand. It goes, fall down 7 times, stand up 8. You guys ever heard that? Fall down 7 times, stand up 8. It's supposed to mean if you keep failing, keep trying, eventually you'll succeed. Perseverance and all that stuff. And it kind of makes sense that way, but fall down 7 times, stand up 8, just mathematically that does not make sense at all. Because if you fall down 7 times, you can only stand up 7 times. And then you're stood up, so like, unless you start out on the ground, how'd you get in the ground? That's another fall right there. How is this supposed to help me get on this dude's boat, is what I'm trying to figure out here, guys. I really want to ride that damn boat. Another person I see on Facebook a lot that makes me, that annoys me, is the guy who's constantly trying to prove how woke or enlightened he is all the time. You'll see him anytime like a woman posts that she has a problem on Facebook. You'll see him in the comments like, I'm so sorry as a cisgendered hetero white male that the patriarchy has done this to you. Hopefully one day Michelle Obama and Beyonce can team up and bring this whole thing down. It's like, all right, dude, how's it gonna help us find her dog? You know, like, now is not the time to try to get laid. Rover is missing. We have 48 hours to get this dog. Isn't that chipped?
I came across a lady being racist on Facebook the other day. She had posted in this Facebook group that she wanted to park by her house to be whites only. Yeah, shocking, right? In 2018, you come across that? I mean, she didn't say that outright. She used a bunch of code words. I told her what she actually meant. She used code words. What she said was she wanted the basketball courts removed from the park by her house because out of the community kids were using them and being loud and disrespectful. Now, out of the community kids, that's code word. That means black kids. She doesn't want black kids in the park. So I told her, I'm like, hey, you just want white people in the park. She's like, no. It's not about race. Don't make it about race. Which is what someone says right after they just said something racist. She's like, it's about these out of the community kids bullying the kids that are part of the community and not letting them use the courts. Part of the community kids. That's another code word. That's precious white babies. That's what that's code for. And when you put it like that, it makes sense. These are the community kids. They want to run pick and rolls and run plays and dunk, and you're part of the community kids are just getting in the way and clogging up all the lanes. But the solution to the problem is not removing the basketball courts from the park. That's crazy. The solution to the problem is teaching these part of the community kids to develop a jump shot and play some defense so they can fill a role on the team. You're never going to be as good as all the community kids. All right, guys, thanks a lot.
Anybody single out here? Okay. Anybody married? Okay. Everybody else just in a situationship? Situationship? Okay, well, here's the whole thing. I done tried some online dating. I don't know if y'all ever did it, but let me tell you something. You get what you pay for, okay? And they talking about love don't cost a thing. It's $49.95 on eHarmony, all right? Which is more than my DTE budget-wide billing plan, and I'm not a fan, all right? But I was on eHarmony.com, but apparently I failed the test because I'm still single, so that didn't really work out. Then for $19.95 a month, I said, you know what, Mel? Let me try Christian Mingle. You know what I'm saying? If Jesus can't help me find a man, who can? You know. Because in my mind, they said, what are your requirements? I said, Peter and Boaz. Give me a thug and a provider. You know what I'm saying? Praise the Lord and knock them out at the same time. That's what I mean. But for $19.99 a month, y'all, I cast my net. I tried interracialdating.com. Sir, it's me, Chocolate City 30. It's Suge White 81. All right. But look, y'all. Look, I gotta get out of here. But before I get out of here, y'all, I paid $19.99 a month. I thought I was gonna find like a Thor with the cape. You know. Thought I was gonna find me like a Bradley Cooper, a Liam Neeson. You know what I'm saying? I want to get taken. Take me to a land of good credit and white privilege. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't what I found, y'all. I found Bubba, Jeffro, and Goober. But I went out with him anyway, y'all. When nobody told me, as he was a mixed martial arts fighter, I went up for a nightcap. He thought it was a good idea to take me up there, put me in the headlock, motorboat me a little bit, and call it foreplay. But I liked it. All right, y'all, my name is Melanie Hearn. Y'all have a good night.
Melanie Hearn is here. She's a comedian extraordinaire who is on the show tonight. Melanie, talk about comedy and how it went tonight.
It was effing great, okay? I had a good time. They had a good time. I had a good time. We laughed. They laughed. We mashed. It was great. Good.
Let's talk about stand-up comedy and what it means to you.
It means everything to me. I love comedy. I live for this thing. I done boyfriends for comedy. I moved in with my mama for comedy. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. I'm 35 and I moved in with my mama for comedy, okay? I love comedy.
Guys, I'm very glad that I do comedy. I remember the first job I had. I realized day one I was smarter than my boss. I used to work at this really, really fancy restaurant called Jimmy John's. And this is the first thing my boss said to me. He said, hey buddy, do you want to work our cash register? I'm like, sure, okay. He says, not so fast there, smarty pants. Do you know how to add backwards? I'm sorry, I don't know what we're talking about. He's like, all right, let's say somebody hands you a $20 bill, but the total's only $12.50. Can you add back from 20 to $12.50? You mean subtraction? Where the hell are we right now? You're responsible for my paychecks. I don't feel comfortable working here. Had a good time growing up. I love playing different board games. One board game that I grew up playing, it was always crazy. I'm sure you guys remember it, the Ouija board. Yeah, Ouija board was crazy. I never could figure it out. I never could figure out how come whenever I play with my stupid friends, all the ghosts are terrible spellers. No idea how that game works. It's weird. Grew up hanging out with my grandparents a lot. My grandpa always go down memory lane, say something crazy like, when I was your age, we were so poor, we had to put water in our cereal. That's disgusting, Grandpa. Fun fact about cereal, you can eat it dry. It's good right out of the box, Gramps. Not sure if you were poor. I am sure you made poor decisions.
She tell me she ill. She need a prescription. I give her my pill. She call me the medicine man, and I'll love her all I can. She call me the doctor love, and I'll gladly be a man. She call me the doctor. She tell me she ill. She need a prescription. I give her my pill. She call me the medicine man, and I'll love her all I can. Oh, all I can. She call me the doctor love. I will gladly be your man. Yeah. She like to wiggle when she works. She like to talk smooth talk, real dirty to me. That's right. Girl, I love it when you talk to me rude. It's so worth it to me to see what you got, love. Oh, and my shotgun goes on like so. Oh, yes, she call me the doctor, love.